The first warning arrived on a Tuesday, at exactly 0317 UNIT. Every major deep space observatory on Earth detected the same signal. It came from beyond the mapped regions of known space. At first, scientists believed it was a natural anomaly. The transmission carried no recognizable encryption, no diplomatic identification, and no signs of technological corruption. Yet the message itself was perfectly clear: submit peacefully, or be erased. 6 words. Nothing more. Within hours, the signal reached military headquarters, intelligence agencies, and government leaders around the planet. No one knew who had sent it. No one knew why, but everyone understood one thing: it was not a joke. 12 hours later, a second transmission arrived. This one included a symbol, a black spiral surrounded by 7 stars. The moment analysts saw it, the atmosphere inside the United Earth Defense Council changed completely. Faces turned pale, conversations stopped. Several intelligence officers immediately requested emergency clearance protocols. The symbol belonged to the Karthan Dominion, the most feared empire in the galaxy. For nearly 800 years, the Dominion had expanded across thousands of star systems. Entire civilizations disappeared after refusing their demands. Their fleets were legendary, their armies were unstoppable. Their reputation alone had forced countless species into submission. Humanity had heard stories of planets turned into graveyards, stories of moons shattered to make examples, stories of civilizations erased so completely that only ancient records proved they had ever existed. Now the Dominion had found Earth. 3 days later, telescopes confirmed the nightmare. Thousands of massive vessels emerged from hyperspace near the edge of the solar system. The invasion fleet was unlike anything humanity had ever seen. The largest ship was so enormous that several Earth cities could have fit inside it. The fleet stretched across millions of kilometers. It looked less like an army and more like a moving civilization. Panic erupted worldwide. Stock markets collapsed, religious centers filled. Emergency broadcasts ran 24 hours a day. People watched the skies, knowing that somewhere beyond the distant planets, an enemy fleet larger than anything in human history was approaching. The Dominion delivered its final demand: surrender, accept occupation, hand over all military assets, adapt to Dominion authority, or face extinction. The world waited for Earth's response. It came from President Elena Ward during a globally broadcast address. She stood alone behind a simple podium, no dramatic background, no military display. Just a human being speaking to billions. Her speech lasted 4 minutes. We did not come this far to kneel. We crossed oceans, we survived wars, we survived disasters, we reached the stars. And if the Dominion believes humanity will surrender because someone threatens us, then they understand nothing about who we are. The speech ended. Across Earth people stood and applauded. Recruitment centers overflowed. Factories converted to military production. Scientists abandoned civilian projects. Every available resource shifted toward one goal: survival. The Dominion was amused. Their commanders reportedly laughed when they received Earth's answer. To them, humanity was insignificant. A young species, an inexperienced species, a species with courage, but without power. The invasion continued. The first battle occurred near Neptune. Humanity sent everything available to delay the advance. Hundreds of ships confronted the Dominion. The result was catastrophic. Within minutes, human vessels were destroyed by weapons, far beyond anything they had previously encountered. Explosions lit the darkness around Neptune. Entire squadrons vanished. The survivors retreated. The Dominion continued forward. Then came Uranus, then Saturn, then Jupiter. With every battle, humanity lost ships. But humanity gained something else. Knowledge engineers studied enemy weapons. Scientists analyzed shield frequencies. Artificial intelligences processed combat data. Every defeat became a lesson. Every casualty produced information. Every battle improved humanity's understanding of the enemy. The Dominion failed to notice. They had conquered too many civilizations. Most species surrendered after suffering losses. Humans adapted. By the time the enemy reached Jupiter, new weapons entered production. By Mars, improved targeting systems were operational. By Earth orbit, humanity was fighting far more effectively than it had at Neptune. Yet it still wasn't enough. The Dominion fleet numbered in the thousands. Earth's defenses were running out of time. Then the true objective of the invasion became clear. The Dominion wasn't interested in occupation. They intended to make an example. Grand Marshal Xiron, supreme commander of the invasion fleet, issued a direct order. Destroy Earth. The command spread through the fleet. Planetary annihilation preparations began. Human intelligence intercepted the transmission. The atmosphere inside military command centers became grim. Earth's leaders understood the reality. Conventional victory was impossible. The Dominion possessed overwhelming superiority. Humanity could delay, but humanity could resist, but humanity could not win, at least not with known technology. That was when Project Aegis was activated. For decades, Project Aegis had existed as humanity's most closely guarded secret. Even most governments knew almost nothing about it. Only a handful of scientists understood its purpose. The project originated from an unusual discovery made 70 years earlier. Researchers experimenting with quantum gravity had uncovered evidence that reality itself possessed an underlying structure. Space was not empty. It behaved more like an information network. A hidden framework connected stars, planets, and dimensions. The discovery was so extraordinary that many scientists initially refused to believe it. Years of experiments eventually confirmed the truth. Reality could be manipulated, not easily, not safely, but it could be manipulated. Project Aegis was born. Its mission was simple: if humanity ever faced extinction, rewrite the battlefield itself. Now extinction was approaching deep beneath Antarctica. Hidden beneath kilometers of reinforced ice and bedrock, enormous facilities awakened, fusion reactors activated. Quantum processors came online. Massive containment chambers hummed with power. Scientists watched screens, displaying energy levels, unlike anything ever recorded. The system had never been tested at full capacity. No simulation could predict the outcome. Humanity was about to gamble its entire future. The final battle began near Earth. Thousands of Dominion warships advanced toward the planet. Human fleets formed defensive lines, orbital stations prepared for destruction, missiles launched. Railguns fired, lasers flashed across space. For 16 hours, the battle raged. The darkness around Earth became a storm of fire and debris. Human crews fought knowing they might not survive. Many didn't. One by one, defensive formations collapsed. Dominion ships broke through. Earth lay exposed. Grand Marshal Xiron watched from the bridge of his flagship. Victory seemed inevitable. His officers were already discussing occupation strategies. Some debated how Earth's population would be divided among Dominion labor sectors. Others predicted how quickly resistance movements would disappear. No one expected what happened next. At precisely 1942, Uditir C, Earth transmitted a message. Every Dominion screen displayed the same words. Project Aegis activated. Confusion spread through the fleet. Then alarms began sounding. Energy readings exploded across every sensor array. Space itself appeared to distort. Navigation systems malfunctioned. Shield generators overloaded. Artificial intelligences crashed. Entire communication networks flickered. Then reality changed. Invisible waves expanded outward from Earth. Dominion ships immediately lost power. Weapons shut down, targeting systems failed, engines died, thousands of vessels drifted helplessly through space. Panic erupted. For the first time in centuries, the Dominion experienced fear. But Aegis wasn't targeting only the invasion fleet. The pulse continued expanding. Faster than light. Faster than any known phenomenon. Across the galaxy, Dominion military infrastructure began failing. Weapons factories shut down. Defense networks collapsed. Hyperspace navigation systems became unreliable. Artificial intelligence cores ceased functioning. Entire fleets found themselves stranded. The impossible was happening. Humanity had weaponized the foundation of reality itself. Then the transmission arrived. Not just to the Dominion. To everyone. Every government, every colony, every species, every inhabited world. The same message appeared simultaneously. Humanity does not surrender. Silence followed. The galaxy watched in disbelief, the Dominion watched in horror, and Earth prepared for Phase 2. Project Aegis had revealed a terrifying truth. The Dominion's technology relied heavily on specific physical constants, embedded within local space. Human scientists had discovered how to alter those constants. Only slightly, but enough. The result was devastating. Dominion technology simply stopped working. Their empire had been built upon technological superiority. Now that superiority was gone. Human fleets launched counterattacks. At first, the battles were brief. Entire Dominion formations surrendered without resistance. Others attempted to fight using crippled systems. They failed. World after world broke free from Dominion control. Ancient enemies rose against their former conquerors. Rebellions spread like wildfire. The empire that had dominated the galaxy for centuries began collapsing within weeks. Grand Marshal Xiron desperately tried to restore order. Emergency commands were issued. Reserve fleets were mobilized. Executions were authorized. Nothing worked. The damage extended beyond military systems. Trade networks collapsed. Communications failed. Transportation routes disappeared. Entire sectors became isolated. The Dominion was disintegrating. Yet humanity still hadn't revealed its final weapon. During analysis of captured Dominion archives, human intelligence uncovered horrifying information. Earth was not the first target. It wasn't even the 10th. The Dominion had exterminated hundreds of civilizations. Some had resisted, others had surrendered. The outcome was always the same: extinction. The evidence shocked even hardened military leaders. Ancient tide recordings documented entire species being erased. Children, cities, worlds, cultures, all destroyed. The Dominion had never intended coexistence, it had always intended domination. Humanity's anger became something deeper. Something colder. A decision was made. The retaliation would continue. 1 month after the invasion began, Earth transmitted another message. This time it was directed, specifically, toward the Dominion government. The message contained only coordinates. No explanation, no threat, just coordinates. Curiosity forced the Dominion leadership to investigate. At the designated location waited a single object, a black sphere. Perfectly smooth, perfectly silent. The moment Dominion scientists examined it, they realized what it was: a warning. Inside the sphere existed a compressed quantum field capable of permanently disabling every remaining Dominion technological system. Humanity could activate it remotely, anytime, anywhere. The message accompanying the sphere arrived moments later. This is mercy, remember it. The Dominion government finally understood. Humanity could have destroyed them completely. Instead, humanity had chosen restraint. The realization terrified them more than annihilation would have. Because it revealed the true balance of power. The hunters had become the hunted. Months passed, the war ended. Dominion forces surrendered across thousands of systems. Former subject worlds gained independence. The empire fractured into smaller governments. For the first time in centuries, the galaxy was free. Then something unexpected happened. Humanity withdrew. No conquests, no occupations, no expansion, no demands. Earth simply returned home. The galaxy struggled to understand. Every major power expected humanity to become the next empire. Instead, humanity focused on rebuilding, repairing damaged colonies, helping liberated worlds, sharing technology, promoting cooperation. The contrast was astonishing. The species that had gained the power to dominate the galaxy chose not to. Years later, historians would identify the exact moment everything changed. Not the activation of Project Aegis, not the fall of the Dominion, not the liberation of countless worlds. The moment was the transmission, the message that appeared everywhere. The message that every civilization remembered: humanity does not surrender. The phrase became legendary. Generations studied it. Entire political philosophies emerged around it. Yet another phrase became even more famous. Because after the retaliation, after the collapse of the Dominion, after the final warnings and final surrenders, something remarkable occurred. The galaxy became quiet. No major wars, no expansion campaigns, no extermination fleets, no conquering empires. Everyone remembered what happened when Earth was threatened. Everyone remembered what happened when humanity fought back. And so the stars
were silent.
Not from fear alone, but from understanding. The galaxy had witnessed the consequences of pushing humanity toward extinction. It had watched a young species rewrite reality itself. It had watched an empire fall in a matter of months, and it had learned a lesson that would endure for thousands of years. Peace is easier than provoking a civilization capable of changing the universe. Far beyond Earth, among the scattered ruins of the former Dominion, abandoned communication stations still drifted through darkness, their receivers remained active, their transmitters remained functional. Yet no messages came. No threats, no ultimatums, no declarations of conquest, only silence, a silence stretching from star to star, a silence earned through unimaginable power, a silence born from humanity's final answer. The transmission arrived, then stars went silent.